With the new remote hunt-a-thon feature, hunting with a group has never been easier. And this is the perfect build for this new meta. This build will change the Monster Hunter Now meta forever. Every meta build so far has been focused on min-maxing damage, always focused on outputting the highest damage possible. But this build is different. Instead of focusing on damage, this build will focus on supporting the team by inflicting a ton of status effects. This is the ultimate support build for Monster Hunter Now. Using this build, you can easily stun the monster twice every hunt. It's so effective at paralyzing monsters that if you're hunting in a group, I highly suggest that one hunter should be running this build at all times. Later in this video, I'll be showing you guys how to combo this build with the Charge Blade to inflict even more status effects. But first, let's talk about the armor set. This build uses the new status sneak attack skill to inflict the paralysis status. For this build, you'll need the following armor pieces. You'll need a lot of Titsyaku armor pieces to get the status sneak attack skill. We'll be equipping these Titsyaku mail, vambraces, and waist to get sneak attack level 4. The Titsyaku waist has a bonus point in evade extender, which is a great skill to have. It will allow us to quickly roll and position ourselves behind the monster in order to activate status sneak. So you'll need to farm a lot of Titsyaku for this build. Luckily, you don't have to upgrade these pieces too much, since at grade 4, these pieces will unlock all the skills you'll need for this build to work. So for the status sneak attack skill to activate consistently, we'll need to be attacking the monster from behind at all times. Having lock on is great so that we can target the monster's tail and effectively hit it from the back. So for that, we'll be equipping the Kulu Helm for lock on and crit eye. Now you might be asking why the Kulu Helm and not the Coral Puke Helm, which has Wex level 2 and lock on. Weakness exploit level 2 does offer more affinity, but not all monsters have weak spots when hitting them from behind. So it's better to have crit eye instead to still get some affinity. Lastly, we equip the Jiro's legs to increase our paralysis attack, further increasing the paralysis buildup on the monster. And the weapon we'll be using is the Jiro's Sword and Shield, the best paralysis weapon in my opinion. The fast attacks of the Sword and Shield will make it easy for us to stack on status effects. And at grade 8, the Jiro's Sword and Shield will have sneak attack, synergizing perfectly with status sneak and buffing our damage just by a little bit. Overall, the build has status sneak level 4, paralysis attack level 2, crit eye, evade extender, and artful dodger at level 1. If you use this build correctly, then you can easily paralyze monsters twice every hunt. You stack up the paralysis status so quickly that after the first paralysis fades, the monster will instantly get paralyzed again. And against monsters that are weak against paralysis, like Odogaron and Diablos, they will just get paralyzed the whole hunt. In this hunt, I was able to paralyze Odogaron 4 times. That's just insane. The major downside of this build is that it does not have a lot of damage. It focuses purely on inflicting paralysis, so it's best used for supporting other hunters while they focus on DPS. Now, this build combos nicely with hunters who are using charge blades with impact files. While this build focuses on paralyzing the monster, the hunter with the charge blade will focus on DPS and knocking out the monster. With this combo, you can easily stun lock monsters with both paralysis and KO. The monster won't even get the chance to attack. The strategy will be to paralyze the monster first, then knock it out using the charge blade. If the monster is still alive, paralyze it for a second time, then knock it out once more. The lesser opportunities you give the monster to attack, the more potions you can save. This is a fun build that you guys should try the next time you go out on a remote hunt-a-thon or go out hunting with your friends. If you want to be the hunter in charge of knocking out monsters with the charged blade, then be sure to check out this video right here for the best KO build.